The revolution Pot 23, they were a source of conflict, despite the fact that both had been approved by or put in place by Khomeini himself. This conflict lasted only a few months. However, the provisional government fell shortly after American embassy officials were taken hostage on 4 November 1979. Bazargan's resignation was received by Khomeini without complaint, saying Mr. Bazargan was a little tired and preferred to stay on the sidelines for a while. Khomeini later described his appointment of Bazargan as a mistake. The Revolutionary Guard, or the Pasdaran-e-Inqilab, was established by Khomeini on 5 May 1979 as a counterweight both to the armed groups of the left and Shah's military. The Guards eventually grew into a full scale military force, becoming the strongest institution of the revolution. Serving under the Pasdarane Inqilab, the Bazije Mustadar volunteers in everything from earthquake emergency management to attacking opposition demonstrators and newspaper offices. The Islamic Republican Party then fought to establish theocratic government by Vilayat-e Thousands of Comite, the revolutionary committees, served as the eyes and ears of the new rule and are credited by critics with many arbitrary arrests, executions, and confiscations of property. Also enforcing the will of the government were the Hezbollah, the Party of God, strong armed thugs who attacked demonstrators and offices of the newspaper critical of Khomeini. Two major political groups that formed after the fall of Shah that clashed with and were eventually suppressed by pro Khomeini groups. They were the Moderate Religious Muslim People's Republican Party, MRPP, which was associated with Grand Muhammad Kazim Shariat Mandari, and the secular leftist Front, National Democratic Front, NDF. In 1979, there were ethnic uprisings following the events of the revolution. Marxist guerrillas and the Federalist parties revolted in some regions comprising Khuzestan, Kurdistan, Gamba de Qaboos, which resulted in fighting between them and the revolutionary forces. These revolts began in April 1979 and lasted between several months to over a year, depending on the region. The establishment of Islamic Republic government. There was a referendum of 12 Farwadin on 30th and 31st of March, Farwadin 10 and Farwadin 11. A referendum was held over whether to replace the monarchy with an Islamic republic. Khomeini called for a massive turnout, and only the National Democratic Front, Fadayan, and several Kurdish parties opposed the vote. The results showed that 98.2% had voted in favor of Islamic Republic. Writing of the Constitution. In June 1979, the Freedom Movement released its draft constitution for the Islamic Republic that it had been working on since Khomeini was in exile. It included a guardian council to veto un Islamic legislation, but had no guardian jurist ruler. Leftists found that draft too conservative and in need of major changes, but Khomeini declared it correct. It was correct, so nobody could object to it.